Okay, in this video I want to show you the debug dialog built into Choice Eliminator. This is something that you can send to me or you can look at yourself to help troubleshoot some issues, as well as reset everything, all settings. It's a little hidden, but it is there. So I'm going to turn on Choice Eliminator 2. I'm going to click Configure. As always, you want to double check that the data sheet is properly set. And the debug window will help you with that if it isn't. And I'm going to enable this. Very good. The debug window can be opened by clicking the version number in the bottom right. So I'm going to click the version number, and this opens up the window for everything. First things first, if you need to, there's a reset everything. This will delete all settings related to this. So if you click reset everything, it says, please make sure you close this dialog and Choice Eliminator 2 sidebar before continuing. I'm going to go back up, and everything is back to how it started as if you had first installed Choice Eliminator. I'm going to re-enable this. Good. And I'm going to go back in the debug window. Now, this information right here is something you can send me. It has information about your results form, such as headings and question titles. It does not include any submitted data. If you want to look at it, this is kind of a cryptic, but what you can do is you can actually highlight it, copy, and there's this program out there called JSON Formatter. Going to it just makes that cryptic information that's in there a little bit easier to view. So I'm going to hit process, and I'm going to shrink all these because I'm going to show you what they are about. So the first thing that you'll notice that it tells you is whether the OnForm Submit is true. That if it is false, that means it's not triggering to run anything when someone submits the form. That should automatically turn to true when, let's go back here, close. That automatically triggers to true when a checkbox is checked. If there are no checkboxes checked, and I go here, you'll see that the OnForm Submit is now false. And hit close, re-enable it, go back here, Control F. The next thing on there is sheet info. Now this is giving me information about the sheets that are in the results sheets. The very first one is Form Responses 1. This is my data sheet. And it actually gives me the top 2 rows. Google Choice Eliminator 2 adds a second row. It adds a form QID. And what that attempts to do is for every question that's eliminated, it adds the question ID to it. It also adds a hidden sheet that matches that question ID. So that's something that Choice Eliminator looks for. And is also why Choice Eliminator is limited to all the questions being unique that are being eliminated. So that kind of tells me that there is a question ID associated with this question, and that there's a sheet that matches it. If I click the sheet, then it gives me some heading information that I put in there. For example, the data sheet. This is why if we rename the data sheet after Choice Eliminator has been enabled, we'll have to go in and reset the name, which I'll show you in another video. It also tells me that it's also column 2. So between the data sheet and the column number, it can get the data for that information. Plus it gives me the question title, whether it's multiple choice, and what you've set for a backup test for that question. In addition, it also shows me a couple formulas that gets used that I was using for troubleshooting when there was a problem where this formula wasn't matching up correctly. So it just puts some formulas in there. If this shows an error, then something is wrong in the process. Usually that would probably indicate a problem with the data sheet right here being incorrectly listed. It also tells me the locale and the time zone. This is helpful. When I first launched it, there was a lot of international issues with this. I think I've since worked those out. And the last thing it keeps is any properties. There are none to show here, but some of the properties that you would see in here is response time or process time. If that gets recorded, I will see the process time in here. So that is the debug window, and as a developer, it does help me to get some of this information when I am troubleshooting problems with users. So thank you.